Our world, a vast and wondrous sphere teeming with life, also holds corners of profound mystery. Places where the known laws of nature seem to bend, and the echoes of ancient enigmas still resonate in the air. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey, not across continents but into the very heart of the unexplained. We will travel to locations that have, for decades, even centuries, captured the human imagination and presented formidable puzzles to the brightest minds in science and exploration. These are the planet's great question marks, etched into its very landscape. From the silent, watchful gaze of stone giants on a remote island to the inexplicable movements of rocks across a desert floor, each place we visit tells a story. It's a tale of human curiosity grappling with forces we barely comprehend. These are not mere curiosities, they are challenges to our understanding of history, geology, and perhaps even reality itself. They remind us that for all our technological advancement, there are still frontiers of knowledge yet to be crossed, secrets that the Earth holds close, revealing them only to the most patient and persistent observers. As we embark on this expedition together, I encourage you to keep an open mind. Consider the evidence, weigh the theories, and allow yourself to feel the awe and wonder that these places inspire. Which of these will capture your imagination the most? Which will you deem the most profound, the most baffling? The answer is a personal one, a reflection of the mysteries that speak to you. So let us begin our exploration into the world's most mysterious places, and perhaps by the end, you will have chosen your own ultimate enigma. Our journey begins in a stretch of the North Atlantic Ocean, a place whose name is whispered with a mixture of fear and fascination. It is, of course, the Bermuda Triangle. This ill-defined region, loosely connecting Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico, has become a modern legend, a graveyard for those who dare to cross its invisible boundaries. For decades, stories have circulated of vessels both great and small, and aircraft of every description, vanishing without a trace. They enter this expanse of ocean and are simply never heard from again, leaving behind only silence and a chilling void of information. The sheer number of documented disappearances is staggering. The USS Cyclops, a colossal U.S. Navy cargo ship with over 300 souls aboard, vanished here in 1918. In 1945, Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers disappeared during a routine training mission. Even the search and rescue plane sent to find them was lost. These are not just tales, they are documented historical events that have defied simple explanation, leaving families to grieve without answers and investigators to ponder without clues. The sea in this part of the world seems to have an insatiable appetite. Naturally, where science struggles to provide a definitive answer, speculation thrives. The theories are as wild and varied as the ocean itself. Some speak of rogue waves of unimaginable size capable of swallowing a ship whole in an instant. Others point to sudden, violent releases of methane gas from the seabed, creating a froth that can no longer support a vessel's buoyancy. And then, there are the more fantastical explanations, portals to other dimensions, submerged alien technologies, or even the lingering influence of the lost city of Atlantis. These waters are notoriously treacherous. The Gulf Stream runs through it, a powerful and turbulent river within the ocean. The weather can be violently unpredictable, with hurricanes brewing with astonishing speed. Furthermore, the area is one of only 2 places on Earth where a compass points to true north rather than magnetic north, a navigational anomaly that could, in the past, have led even experienced mariners astray. This combination of natural hazards certainly provides a logical basis for many of the incidents. Yet, despite these scientific explanations, a core of mystery remains. The sheer completeness of the disappearances, the lack of wreckage, of oil slicks, of any final distress calls, continues to haunt us. The Bermuda Triangle serves as a potent reminder that the ocean, our planet's great wilderness, still possesses the power to confound and to conceal. It is a place where the line between fact and folklore becomes blurred, lost in the deep blue enigma of the sea. We now travel from the depths of the ocean to the arid, sun-scorched expanse of the Nevada desert in the United States. Here, nestled within a vast and restricted military installation, lies a place that, officially, for many years, did not exist. Area 51. This facility is one of the most secretive and heavily guarded locations on the planet. Its perimeter is marked with stern warnings, monitored by motion sensors, and patrolled by armed guards. What goes on behind its fences has become the subject of the most intense speculation and conspiracy. The official purpose of Area 51 is the development and testing of experimental aircraft and weapons systems. It has been the birthplace of legendary reconnaissance planes like the U-2 and the SR-71 Blackbird, technologies that were decades ahead of their time. The secrecy, therefore, is justified by national security. The strange lights and unidentified flying objects reported by civilians in the surrounding skies for decades can often be attributed to these top-secret test flights, craft moving in ways and at speeds previously thought impossible for man-made machines. However, this official explanation has done little to quell the public's fascination with a more otherworldly possibility. For many, Area 51 is synonymous with just one thing: aliens. The lore surrounding the base is rich and detailed, fueled by supposed whistleblowers and ufologists. The most famous story is that the wreckage of the alleged 1947 Roswell UFO crash, along with its extraterrestrial occupants, was transported here for study. It is believed by some that deep underground, hidden from spy satellites, scientists are reverse engineering alien technology. This belief has turned the nearby small town of Rachel into an unlikely pilgrimage site for UFO enthusiasts from all over the world. Its extraterrestrial highway is a testament to the cultural impact of the base's mystery. People gather here, gazing at the night sky, hoping to catch a glimpse of something that defies conventional explanation. The secrecy of the government, while intended to protect state secrets, has had the unintended consequence of creating a powerful, self-sustaining mythology. Area 51 represents a unique kind of mystery. It is not an ancient enigma or a natural anomaly, but a human-made one. It is a void in our public knowledge, and human nature abhors a vacuum. Into that void, we have poured our greatest fears and our wildest hopes about our place in the universe. Is it merely a testing ground for advanced human technology, or is it the place where humanity has its first secret contact with life from another world? The truth, for now, remains hidden behind the desert mountains. We now journey back in time to the windswept Salisbury Plain in England. Here, rising from the green earth, stands one of humanity's most enduring and profound mysteries: Stonehenge. For over 5,000 years, these colossal stones have stood in silent testament to their creators. They have watched empires rise and fall, seasons turn, and generations of humanity gaze upon them in wonder. Who built this magnificent structure, and for what purpose, are questions that have echoed through the millennia, yet definitive answers remain tantalizingly out of reach. The sheer scale of the engineering is difficult to comprehend, even today. The largest stones, known as sarsens, weigh up to 30 tons each, and were transported from Marlborough Downs, over 20 miles away. The smaller blue stones are even more remarkable. They weigh up to 4 tons, and have been traced to the Preseli Hills in Wales, a staggering 150 miles distant. How did a Neolithic people, with only the most rudimentary tools, quarry, transport, and erect these monoliths with such astonishing precision? It is a feat of logistics and collective effort that would challenge even modern engineers. The purpose of Stonehenge is perhaps the greatest puzzle of all. Its alignment is undeniably astronomical. On the summer solstice, the rising sun appears to emerge directly from behind the heel stone, casting a beam of light into the very heart of the circle. At the winter solstice, the setting sun aligns perfectly between the stones of the Great Trilithon. This suggests it was a celestial observatory, a giant calendar to mark the passing of the seasons, which would have been vital for an early agricultural society. But other theories abound. The discovery of numerous human remains buried with great care within and around the monument suggests it was also a sacred burial ground, a place of the ancestors, a destination for pilgrims seeking healing. Some see it as a temple for sun worship, a place of ritual and sacrifice. Each theory holds a piece of the puzzle, but none seems to fully explain the monument's complexity and the immense effort invested in its long and evolving construction over 1,500 years. As we stand before these silent sentinels, we are connected to our distant past. We feel the same awe as the Romans who marveled at it, the medieval scholars who wrote of it, and the countless individuals who have sought its solace or its secrets. Stonehenge is more than just a collection of stones. It is a symbol of human ingenuity, of our innate desire to understand our place in the cosmos, and of our connection to those who came before us. It is a masterpiece of prehistoric architecture that keeps its ultimate secrets well. Our voyage now takes us to one of the most isolated inhabited islands on Earth, a tiny speck of land in the vastness of the Pacific Ocean. This is Rapa Nui, more famously known as Easter Island. Its landscape is dominated by an unforgettable and haunting presence, nearly 900 colossal stone statues known as the Moai. These monolithic figures with their heavy brows and enigmatic expressions stand guard over the island, their backs to the sea, watching over the villages of their creators. They are the silent, stoic remnants of a lost civilization. The creation and transportation of these giants is a mystery that has baffled explorers since the island was first visited by Europeans in 1722. The statues were carved from tuff, a compressed volcanic ash in a single quarry at a volcano called Rano Raraku. The largest of them stands over 33 feet tall and weighs a staggering 82 tons. How did the Rapa Nui people, with no wheels, no draft animals, and no metal tools, manage to carve these figures, and then move them many miles across the island's rugged terrain to be erected on ceremonial platforms, or ahu? Scientific experiments and oral traditions suggest several possibilities. Perhaps they were walked upright, using a system of ropes to rock them forward step by step. Or maybe they were laid on their backs on wooden sledges and pulled over log rollers. Whatever the method, it required immense manpower, incredible social organization, and a deep driving purpose. The statues are believed to represent deified ancestors, acting as protectors and conduits of spiritual power for the island's clans. But the story of Easter Island is also a cautionary tale. When the first Europeans arrived, they found a largely treeless landscape and a small, struggling population. Pollen analysis of lake sediments reveals that the island was once covered in a dense palm forest. It is widely believed that the civilization collapsed due to overexploitation of its resources. The very obsession with carving and erecting ever larger moai may have led to the complete deforestation of the island, resulting in soil erosion, starvation, and societal warfare. Today, the moai stand as a powerful symbol of human achievement and perhaps of human folly. They stare inland, their empty eye sockets once filled with coral and red scoria, seemingly pondering the fate of the people who created them. Easter Island is a microcosm of our planet, a lesson written in stone on a remote shore. It asks us profound questions about our relationship with our environment, the sustainability of our ambitions, and the legacy we choose to leave behind. We now turn from ancient stones to a more recent and deeply personal mystery. We travel to the small town of Petric in Bulgaria, to a simple, unassuming house. This was the home of Vangelia Pandeva Gushtarova, better known to the world as Baba Vanga, the Nostradamus of the Balkans. Though she passed away in 1996, her house remains a potent symbol, drawing spiritual seekers and the curious, all hoping to feel the lingering presence of one of the 20th century's most renowned clairvoyants and mystics. Baba Vanga lost her sight in a freak storm as a child. It was after this event that she claimed to have received a divine gift, the ability to see into the future and to communicate with the unseen world. For over 50 years she was visited by thousands of people, from humble villagers to heads of state and celebrities, all seeking her counsel on matters of health, fortune, and destiny. Her followers claim she had an astonishingly high success rate, her pronouncements both eerily specific and profoundly insightful. Her fame rests on a series of alleged predictions about major world events. Her adherents credit her with foreseeing the breakup of the Soviet Union, the Chernobyl disaster, the 9/11 attacks, and even the date of her own death. These prophecies, often delivered in a cryptic, allegorical style, have been pored over and interpreted for decades. Skeptics, of course, argue that the predictions are vague, often publicized only after the event, and subject to the powerful effects of confirmation bias. The mystery of Baba Vanga's house is not geological or archaeological, but metaphysical. It is the mystery of the human mind and its potential. Was she a genuine psychic, a conduit for information beyond our normal senses? Or was she simply an incredibly intuitive and intelligent woman, adept at reading people and making shrewd deductions based on the information they gave her? The Bulgarian government at one point even placed her on the state payroll, studying her abilities and utilizing her skills, which only adds another layer to the enigma. Her small house in Petric and her larger temple built nearby in Rupite have become places of pilgrimage. People come to light a candle, to say a prayer, or simply to be in the space where this extraordinary woman lived and worked. The air is thick with stories, with faith, and with the enduring question of whether some individuals can truly transcend the known limits of human perception. The house stands as a quiet monument to a life that continues to baffle scientists and inspire believers. Our journey now takes us to the coldest, driest, and most remote continent on Earth, Antarctica. Here, amidst the pristine white expanse of the McMurdo Dry Valleys, a truly surreal and unsettling sight emerges from the face of the Taylor Glacier. A 5-story tall plume of crimson liquid pours slowly onto the ice of Lake Bonny below. It is known, appropriately, as Blood Falls. For over a century since its discovery in 1911, this phenomenon has been a source of intense scientific curiosity and wonder. The early explorers who first witnessed this spectacle believed the startling red color was caused by some species of red algae. It seemed the most logical explanation in such a bizarre environment. However, the truth, when it was finally uncovered, proved to be far more extraordinary. The waterfall is not stained by life on its surface, but is instead the outflow of a subglacial lake, trapped beneath the ice for, it is believed, more than 1 million years. It is a time capsule from a prehistoric world. The water in this hidden lake is incredibly rich in iron, which it has leached from the bedrock below. It is also completely devoid of oxygen and intensely salty, 3 times saltier than seawater, which prevents it from freezing even in the extreme Antarctic temperatures. When this ancient iron-rich water finally seeps through a fissure in the glacier and comes into contact with the oxygen in our atmosphere for the first time, the iron rapidly oxidizes, it rusts. The deep red color is literally the color of liquid rust. But the most astonishing discovery is yet to come. Scientists have found that this trapped, dark and oxygen-free lake is not sterile. It is teeming with a unique ecosystem of microorganisms. These microbes have survived for millennia in complete darkness, without sunlight for photosynthesis, in an environment previously thought inhospitable to life. They appear to get their energy by metabolizing the iron and sulfur compounds in the water, a process known as chemosynthesis. Blood Falls, therefore, offers more than just a visual spectacle. It is a window into how life might survive in the most extreme conditions, not just on Earth, but potentially on other planets and moons in our solar system. The icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, like Europa and Enceladus, are thought to harbor vast liquid oceans beneath their frozen shells. The life found at Blood Falls provides a compelling model for what might exist in those dark, alien seas, forever changing our perspective on the search for extraterrestrial life. From the freezing Antarctic, we travel to one of the hottest places on Earth, Death Valley, California. Here, on the flat, cracked mud bed of a dry lake known as Racetrack Playa, an impossible phenomenon occurs. Large rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, appear to move across the surface on their own, leaving long, shallow tracks etched into the earth behind them as proof of their mysterious journeys. For decades, no one had ever seen them move, yet the evidence was undeniable. The tracks are often intricate, showing changes in direction, sharp turns, and sometimes even rocks moving in parallel before diverging. This ruled out simple explanations like gravity or wind alone. I mean, a strong wind might push a small pebble, but how could it move a 700-pound boulder named Karen, one of the largest of the sailing stones? The mystery deepened with every new track discovered, fueling speculation that ranged from magnetic fields to, mischievous pranksters. For years, scientists set up experiments, placing GPS trackers on the stones and monitoring the playa with time-lapse cameras, but the rocks refused to perform on cue. The conditions required for their movement were so specific and so rare that they eluded observation. The playa had to be flooded with just the right amount of water, shallow enough to leave the rocks exposed, which then had to freeze overnight into a thin sheet of window pane ice. The puzzle was finally solved in the winter of 2013. Researchers were on site when all the necessary conditions aligned. A rare rainstorm had created a shallow pond. During the cold night, a thin layer of ice formed, floating on the liquid water beneath. As the sun rose, the ice began to melt and break up into large floating panels. A light, steady wind then began to blow, pushing these enormous sheets of ice across the playa. These ice sheets, acting like sails, were large enough to have the force to push the rocks embedded within them. The movement was incredibly slow, only a few feet per minute, a speed almost imperceptible to the naked eye. The rocks weren't sliding on mud, but being carried along by vast, moving panes of ice. It was a perfect and fleeting combination of water, ice, and wind. The mystery of the sailing stones was a testament to the power of patient scientific observation and the subtle, surprising forces of nature. Our travels now take us to southwestern Turkey, to a landscape that seems to belong not to Earth but to a dream. This is Pamukal, which translates to Cotton Castle in Turkish. The name is perfectly chosen. Cascading down a hillside is a series of brilliant white terraces filled with pools of turquoise water. It looks like a frozen waterfall or a fortress made of clouds. This surreal and beautiful place is not made of ice or cotton, but of travertine, a sedimentary rock deposited by mineral-rich thermal waters. For thousands of years, hot springs, heated by volcanic activity deep within the earth, have bubbled to the surface at the top of this 200-meter-high cliff. This water is saturated with calcium carbonate. As it flows down the hillside, it cools, and the calcium carbonate is deposited, slowly building up layer upon layer of soft white travertine. Over millennia, this process has created the fantastic series of terraced basins, dams and stalactites that make Pamukal so unique. The site's beauty is matched by its history. The ancient Greco-Roman city of Hierapolis was built at the top of the castle, founded as a thermal spa in the 2nd century BC. People flocked here from all over the ancient world, believing the warm, mineral-laden waters had healing properties. They came to soothe their ailments, to worship the gods, and to retire in a place of peace and beauty. The extensive ruins of Hierapolis, including a magnificent theater and a vast necropolis, stand today as a testament to Pamukal's enduring appeal. The legends surrounding Pamukal are as rich as its waters. One story tells of a young, homely girl who, in despair, threw herself into a terrace pool, only to be transformed by the waters into a beautiful maiden who won the heart of a local lord. While the healing powers may be more legend than fact, the experience of bathing in the warm, milky blue pools, surrounded by the dazzling white landscape, is undeniably therapeutic for the soul. It is a place that feels both natural and divinely sculpted. Today, efforts are in place to preserve this fragile wonder. The flow of water is carefully controlled to ensure the terraces remain white, and access for bathing is restricted to specific areas to prevent damage. Pamukal remains a stunning intersection of natural wonder and human history. It is a place where geology has created a work of art, and where for 2,000 years, humanity has come to marvel at its ethereal beauty and seek comfort in its warm embrace. We venture now to the Andes Mountains in Bolivia, to a stretch of road that has earned the most fearsome of reputations. It is officially known as the Yungas Road, but to the rest of the world, it is simply Death Road. For decades, this was the only route connecting the capital city of La Paz to the Amazonian rainforest region of Coroico. It is a journey of terrifying peril, a narrow ribbon of gravel and dirt carved into the side of a mountain, with sheer 1,000-foot drops and no guardrails. The road twists and turns for approximately 40 miles, descending nearly 12,000 feet in altitude. It is often no wider than a single lane, yet until a new safer road was built, it had to accommodate two-way traffic. Trucks and buses would precariously inch past each other, their outer wheels spinning just inches from the abyss. The rule of the road was unique. Drivers kept to the left, allowing the person on the cliff edge to better judge their position. This small comfort did little to ease the constant sense of danger. The perils are not just man-made. The weather here is violently unpredictable. Thick fog and rain can reduce visibility to almost zero in an instant, turning the dirt track into a slick, muddy slide. Waterfalls cascade directly onto the road from the cliffs above, and landslides are a constant threat, capable of sweeping away sections of the road or any vehicle unlucky enough to be on it. It is estimated that in its heyday, between 200 and 300 travelers were killed on this road every year. Crosses and small memorials dot the roadside, grim markers of past tragedies, each one telling a silent story of a journey that ended in disaster. They serve as a constant, sobering reminder of the road's deadly power. Despite its reputation, or perhaps because of it, Death Road became a grim tourist attraction, drawing thrill-seeking mountain bikers from around the globe who wanted to test their nerve against the legendary route. Today, the construction of a modern paved highway nearby has diverted almost all of the heavy traffic. The old Yungas Road has become quieter, but no less intimidating. It stands as a monument to the incredible risks people once had to take for basic commerce and travel. It is a testament to the raw, untamable power of nature in the high Andes, a place where the landscape itself dictates the terms of survival, and where every hairpin turn is a confrontation with mortality. For our final destination, we travel to the sun-drenched coast of Italy, to the beautiful island of Capri. Here, nestled at the base of a steep cliff, is a sea cave that holds a magical secret. From the outside, the entrance to the Blue Grotto, or Grotta Azzurra, is deceptively small, barely 3 feet high. Visitors must lie flat in small wooden rowboats to pass through the low archway, leaving the bright Mediterranean sun behind and entering into a world of darkness. But then, as your eyes adjust, the magic happens. The entire cavern is filled with a brilliant, ethereal blue light that seems to glow from the water itself. It is a sight of almost supernatural beauty, as if the water is a liquid sapphire, illuminated from within. Oars dipping into the water create silver trails, and anything submerged takes on a shimmering, otherworldly quality. It's an experience that has enchanted visitors for centuries, including the Roman Emperor Tiberius, who is said to have used the grotto as his personal swimming pool. The source of this incredible phenomenon is not magic, but a beautiful quirk of physics and geology. The brilliant color is created by sunlight passing through the water in a very specific way. While the small opening at the waterline lets in some light, a second, much larger opening exists directly below it, submerged beneath the sea. When sunlight enters through this underwater hole, the water absorbs the red light, allowing only the blue light to pass through and illuminate the cavern from below. The effect is breathtaking. The boatmen who skillfully guide their vessels through the grotto often sing traditional Neapolitan songs, their voices echoing off the stone walls and adding to the enchanting atmosphere. The experience is fleeting, as visits are short to allow others to witness the spectacle, but the memory of that impossible blue glow is lasting. For a few moments you are transported to another world, a secret chamber painted by light and water. The Blue Grotto is a perfect example of how natural forces can combine to create something that feels truly magical. It is a place where science provides an explanation, but the explanation does nothing to diminish the wonder of the experience. It reminds us that our planet is full of hidden pockets of beauty, waiting to be discovered. It is a place of pure, simple, and profound wonder, a fitting end to our journey through the world's most mysterious places. We have journeyed from the depths of the Atlantic to the highest peaks of the Andes, from ancient stone circles to a glacier that weeps red. We have explored mysteries born of nature, of human ingenuity, and of the enduring power of belief. Each location, in its own unique way, challenges our perceptions and ignites our curiosity. They prove that our world is far from being fully mapped and understood. There are still shadows on the map, questions waiting for answers, and wonders that defy simple explanation. The true power of these places lies not just in their secrets, but in the questions they inspire within us. They encourage us to look deeper, to think bigger, and to embrace the humbling realization that we are but one small part of a much grander and often stranger story. The sailing stones of Death Valley, the silent moai of Easter Island, the glowing waters of the Blue Grotto, they all speak a universal language of awe and wonder, connecting us across time and culture through our shared desire to understand. Now I turn the question to you. Which of these enigmatic locations captured your imagination the most? Was it the chilling tales of the Bermuda Triangle, or the otherworldly sight of Blood Falls? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would be fascinated to know which mystery resonates most deeply with you. And if you wish to continue exploring the marvels and enigmas of our incredible planet, please subscribe and join us for our next expedition into the unknown. The journey is far from over.
Ready for a history adventure? Join our community. Subscribe to World History, smash that like, share with friends, and drop your thoughts below. Let's make history together. See you in the comments.